We'll declare the meeting open and welcome everyone to the June 2022 meeting of the Ōtorohanga Community Board. Apologies, we don't have any apologies today. We just got Kat joining us via Zoom today. No later
recording
items.
in progress.
No late items for the agenda. Any declarations of conflicts of interest or anything on today's agenda? No, fantastic. Public forum. We haven't had any public forum. The finalisation of this agenda, no requests have been received, so we'll move on. Confirmation of minutes, 5th of May 2022. We have a mover and a seconder that those minutes be received. Mr. Rodney Dell, Mr. Peter Coventry. Any matters arising from those minutes? No. Thank you very much. Chairperson's verbal report. It's been a weird old month, really. So I've popped around and visited a few of the community organisations in the last couple of days. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of struggles out there and whatnot, but there's certainly some real amazing people really certainly helping out quite substantially within the community. Bit of a shout out to both Day and Rachel. They both got mentioned by a few people for being really helpful recently with a few of the community groups and whatnot. Certainly a couple of people have thanked the council for the furniture and whatnot that's been parcelled out to a few community groups and around there and whatnot. So yeah, it's certainly neat to see that, you know, there is the help out there, and the people that are helping have got a bit of support and backup to help them. You know, it's quite often the people who help the most, you know, still need a bit of help themselves and a bit of assistance so that they can keep on trucking. So yeah, it's quite neat to see that they're going quite well. Thoughts go out to Neelish and Marla at the Milk Bar. Third break-in 3 months. It's certainly a bit of an issue. But yes, that certainly raises a few questions that need to be asked and whatnot. But our thoughts certainly go out to them. And yeah, thanks to a few community members that helped them in the aftermath of all that and whatnot. Other than that, I haven't got too much else. So we have a mover and a seconder that that report be received. Mr. Coventry, Ms. Councillor Christensen. Right, we'll hand over item 84, resignation of board member Buckman.
It's the minutes.
What?
It's the previous minutes.
Oh, where are we? Where are we? What's on the agenda?
It's at the front page that you got the
Agenda, 3rd of June 2022.
page 12.
Page 12.
Page 12.
There we go. It's changed all around on me. Item 88, meter watering charges. We'll hand over to the finance manager.
Come on, just move forward a bit. So I guess I'll take the report as being read and just answer any questions or comments about it. Yeah.
Any questions from the floor?
I'm wondering about
171 plus GST for the fixed charge and $1.71 per GST plus GST per cubic meter.
this one on comments of the other option is you have a lower fixed charge.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that the people are out, thinking that people don't use much water, maybe the teaching or something, and that's some of the lower income. If that might be a better option than sort of more on the user pay type system.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I did 3 basic options, sort of all one way, all the other, or somewhere in the middle. If you wanted to go with a different figure, I do have my computer here. I could work out what it would need to be, but I haven't done a whole lot of modelling for multiple different scenarios, I guess.
Yeah, my Now we're coupled with not using much water, but
Yeah.
you know, they basically pay a fixed income lower than versus, you know.
I was going that way, and then I sort of went towards the one that's recommended, the hybrid, where it's split across the two charges, only because we have some large families that use a lot of water.
Yeah, it's
So,
so,
yeah, so it's a balancing act.
Just on the recommended option, it seems to have been kind of, seems to be half the others this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've been recommended it.
Yeah.
I hear what Rodney's saying.
Sorry, for me, I did like the recommended option, for the same reason that Katrina says, it spreads it across it. When you're taking the general costs and spread it across most of them for that fixed charge. Yeah, I preferred the recommended option.
What are our current charges?
It's 150 plus GST fixed and $1.50 plus GST for the consumption.
$21 a cube up on the
21 cents a cube and $21.
$21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out when I was actually modeling it, it worked out for every dollar that you move the fixed charge, it's about a 2 to 3 cent movement in the consumption charge the other way. So if you put it up to a 172, your consumption would be about 168, 169 off the meat. And if you go the other way, obviously that puts your consumption charge up more.
Any further questions from the floor?
Just, you know, I was just putting that there, just for everyone's thought that.
So just as a brief overview, the price is having to go up because the consumption's lower than expected, and the fixed costs basically are much the same.
Much the same, although there's been an increase, obviously, with the capital works we're doing, there's an increase in our depreciation costs because we've got newer assets, obviously they depreciate at a higher rate. Most of the variable charges are relatively, well, having said that, chemicals, you know, everything's going up at the moment. So chemicals and stuff like that's going up. Electricity and stuff like that's not changing too much because we're in a long-term contract with that. But yeah, most of the costs are rising to an extent, and also as part of the LTP, as I mentioned, we did, the committee board decided to try and reduce that deficit in the account over 5 years. And so we're just continuing with that income that was put into the LTP to achieve that target.
Yeah, so is everybody on, what's everyone's feelings? Recommended option or a change to the option? Hey,
Obviously, no one's happy with any costs going up nowadays, but I think of the options there, and just it is what this world is facing us with at the moment. I think of those options, the third option, the recommended option is the least painful to swallow.
okay,
Yeah, I prefer the option. At least we know we're going to get that fixed amount regardless of what the consumption's going to be.
right, so can we have a mover and a seconder for recommended option 7.1? 7.1? No, option 3. Recommended option is option 3, 171 plus GST fixed charge and $1.71 plus GST per cubic meter consumption charge. We have a mover and a seconder.
Yeah.
Ms. Christensen, Mr. Coventry, all in favour? Passed, thank you very much. Item 89, Town Concept Plan Project Update. I'll hand over to Chief Advisor.
Thank
Got a
you.
new title for you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, board members. This project's at a point where we're transitioning from the early assessment and the analysis that's been undertaken following the recent engagement phase and into the development of the draft town concept plan document itself. So from the recent engagement phase, we've had, in addition to the feedback from the various stakeholder sessions and the public drop-in sessions, over 70 items of feedback through the online surveys. So we had the general survey, which attracted 62 responses, which is great. And in addition to that, because we didn't get a complete attendance at the sport and recreation stakeholder session that we hosted, we opted to supplement that with an online survey. So in addition to those who attended, we got a further 10 responses specific to that survey. So that's really positive and certainly encouraging. So in terms of where we're moving to now, there's a further engagement phase which we'll be conducting on the week starting the 13th of June. So that's really reporting back to the various stakeholder groups that we've picked up and reflected the feedback that they've provided. Provides an opportunity for those groups to hear about the other feedback that we've had. And it's also an opportunity for the consultants to start to share some of the key themes, issues, and high-level options that are emerging from their analysis of the feedback and the assessment, the baseline assessment work that they're undertaking. So that will be the final engagement step ahead of the draft town concept plan document coming back to the board and council. And I'm suggesting at this stage that that might be best. So that will be in July. And I'm thinking that might be best achieved by a joint session with the board and council. But I'm certainly open to feedback on that, because that will then be the trigger to commence the formal engagement and consultation on the draft document itself over July and August. And then obviously the feedback that we get from that, well, sorry, there'll be another focused round of sessions for the community and stakeholder groups through that formal engagement phase. And then after that, the feedback, as I've suggested in the report, could be considered by a joint sitting of the board and council. So we're at this stage, we're still on track to complete the various stages in line with the timetable that's in the report, and then the adoption of the town concept plan document itself, including the action plan by the end of September or early October. Very happy to take questions.
Any questions from the floor? No.
Just thank you. That's going all the time. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, especially to see that it's still on track with all the rest of the world's shenanigans that's going on. Yeah, certainly quite excited. Yeah, we're still looking July, August, and we're certainly on track somehow, some way. So yeah, credit to those who have kept it trucking. Do we have a mover and a seconder that report be received? This Councillor Christensen, Councillor Dell. Thank you very much. Right, board members' updates. Get on with Mrs. Councillor Christensen.
Just to let you know that the Metariki event receives some funding today, so that will go ahead one day on Friday the 24th at Rotary Park in the car park of Campus.
24th of
June. Metariki.
Fantastic. Anything else?
No.
Ms. Brown-Merritt.
I've just had our eyesight cluster meeting for Coromandel and Waikato. So it's really encouraging. Tourists are starting to come back in. Numbers are starting to pick up in town centres. So we're just going to be doing a bit of work, Ōtorohanga and Waitomo districts, on promoting our districts a bit more around the region. So it's going to be quite exciting, especially with all the funding that we've just received into the tourism sector. Yeah, apart from that, again, I don't know where the month has gone. They're just flying past now.
Thank you. Mr. Dell.
Too much, I've actually been driving trucks at work for nice day. But anyway, I have noticed coming into Ōtorohanga that go up into Ōtorohanga side at night, you can't really see it. I don't know if the light bulbs too dull. Yeah, whether it needs to clean, whether like, other towns you drive into and they're welcome to the, the signs of the interests of the towns. You see them, so there's our one, for some reason. One was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been extremely busy. Good, that's good. Very observation.
Sounds like you're in much the same boat as everyone else with lack of staff. Yeah.
Oh,
COVID coverage and all the rest.
not a lot of people running into town. Trucks. This
Yeah.
country. Beautiful drive yesterday. Like Wicked, sorry, like Wicked calls to the boat in Brisbane. There's like a massive rain just driving through with all these massive waterfalls coming out of the bush.
Oh,
Never seen it. Normally it's really boring, so it's terrible. Yeah, last night, yesterday, coming through, it was beautiful. It's just like so scenic. So even though the river was just there's that much water, I don't know why we're worried. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was one of those things that you just have to be at the time. Wasn't too good the night before, it was starting to fly for a yeah, no, yeah, it's kind of coming back from. So, yeah, that's fun.
we'll look into it. Mr. Coventry.
No, just like everyone else, going as hard as we can to keep things ticking along. Otherwise, no news report.
Excellent. Right, with that, we'll clear the meeting closed. Thank you very much, everyone.